Wednesday night, we're all in sight. 9 o'clock, it's shining bright. Turn the dial and feel the might. Just enough Heshy takes flight. Woo! Laughs and wisdom side by side. Heshy show won't be denied. Tune in live and ride the tide. Feel the rush and feel the pride. It's just enough Heshy. Wanna vote for Heshy? It's just enough Heshy. Join the crowd, it's messy.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a Just Enough Heshy show. I know my Instagrams, you see an empty seat, but my boy is coming in here. Hello, YouTube fans. Where were you, Tom?
I had to go do the producer's work today.
Oh my!
We're doing two for the price of one.
And I don't have to pay you extra?
No, you have to pay me anything.
Wow, thank God.
I'm actually the one employee that may not need the money, so that's okay.
I got that. Thank God. If anybody wants a raise,
Well,
we're broke.
no, that's
Welcome
okay.
to the show, everybody. Our producer's on some famous ship cruise with his wife, getting suntan and massages while me and Tom are struggling out there. How are you, Tom?
I'm doing great.
Well, welcome back for another week. We got stuff to talk about.
Me too.
I got a poll that will blow you out of the water. I know you're going to argue with me, but you got some on your poll, so we're good to go with that. I want to talk about a bunch of... I got a new car.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I also want to talk about...
Not a toy car?
I have a toy car. I got a toy car for the grandson.
Okay.
And
congratulations, by the way. So I had the Instagram video.
Yes.
Congratulations.
You know, people are all screaming at me, oh, you made your video too early like you have dementia. It was an introduction for this show. It's like a commercial. It doesn't have to be on Wednesday. I could be on Monday. I just wanted to it was a cute commercial with the baby. You know what I mean?
Congratulations.
I've been trying to see the baby forever, and finally they came. I was taking them out to dinner and decided, you know what, Pop? Make dinner for us in your house because there's a way. So I invited them over. I made a beautiful dinner.
That's nice.
I had the baby. It was calm. Nobody pressuring me.
Great.
No restaurant. No screaming and nothing. It was pretty good.
No former candiets bothering you. No
former
party chairman.
candidate, no party
No
chairman.
consultants.
Even though I want to tell you something cute, we had a Republican meeting at my office.
Yeah, 202 Foster Avenue,
Yes,
Green Line Building.
we had a Republican club meeting, and
Yes.
we invited the borough president to the...
Antonio Reynoso? I mean, Democrat.
No, Janine
Aquafrida?
Right.
Okay.
She came over.
Real estate broker.
Real estate broker, very nice lady. I have some pictures with her. She came over. She wants to come on the show. Okay, she's running Republican. I'm hoping she wins, but we'll see what happens.
Okay, well, we'll have to see. I mean, she's definitely got an uphill battle. We'll find out, right?
Yeah. And so I invited her, and a couple of the Republican people who didn't support me showed up at my meeting after supporting her. So we had a little chat, and we spoke about the upcoming indictments that are going on as well.
Okay.
I just want you to know that, everybody. We're going to talk about that as well.
Okay. Well, we'll have to find out.
We're going to introduce our listeners in a few moments.
Very shortly, yes, in about 30 seconds.
I think you should introduce. You know what? I always... Whatever. We can talk about that.
I mean, we could certainly get ready
I have
to...
a very funny joke. How we're going to laugh at the joke since the producer's not here?
Unfortunately, I can't go back and press that button. Then I have to
I
run
want
it out.
you to laugh. At least
I'm going to try my best.
It's a really good joke.
I'm going to try my best
It's
to
a
laugh.
true
I mean,
story joke.
if I could be at two places at one, I would do it. But
usually you can. You're so good.
Well, maybe we'll see what happens.
We're going to be meeting with our new campaign manager this week.
Yes.
Next week.
Yeah. Hopefully,
and we have
soon.
a plan and a rocket.
A legendary campaign manager.
And we have a plan on how to win this election.
But let's say hello to our listeners about to join us here, coming up over at the legendary 102.7 WNEW FM. Also, Heshy's favorite place, WJPR 1640 AM in Miami, and also our flagship 620 WSNR. Welcome everybody here to this week's Just Enough Heshy show with myself and Heshy. And if you want to be here with us, join the conversation and visit our website anytime at heshytischler.com. So
Right.
thank you for joining us this week.
HeshyTischler.com. I can still use your support. We just filed our last campaign finance filing. I think we got all of our donation. I think maybe 2 were short. We have one more filing we could do.
We have one in October coming up.
Right,
Yeah.
but we're pretty much we're fully funded, and you're still welcome to donate to our campaign because we can raise up to another 20 grand.
You have a campaign manager you probably have to pay, so
Yeah, we have
definitely
to
send a
pay him,
donation.
right, we need money for him. But we're good to go. And justenoughheshy@gmail.com. And
Yes.
don't forget my company Greenline that I have inspection yesterday. I have 2 more. I have a big inspection tomorrow. I've got to hit Canada to go meet.
Wow.
Yeah.
So where in Canada are you going?
I'm going to Montreal.
Wow.
For a big event I've been invited to,
Montreal.
and some big rabbi wants
One
to
of
talk
our,
to me.
my buddy Joe Roses was in Montreal not too long ago. He went to a wedding up there.
And then I have 2
Do you
weddings.
speak French?
I don't want to speak French. I have 2 weddings Thursday night, 3 weddings on Sunday.
Wow.
Okay, and I have an event for somebody who passed away to speak over there.
I am so sorry to hear
But I want to, before we start our show, I want to show you what ungrateful is.
Okay.
And I know you people are going to, but you know what? I'm going to start the show, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
Welcome to the show, our YouTube and radio fans.
Yes.
I want to give a
Instagram.
shout out to my wonderful friend Peter, Sergeant
Peter, yes.
and Ellie, and my beautiful granddaughter Mira Nava.
Favorite part of the show.
She calls me every morning now on her video phone. She sees the phone from the father. So cool. 6 years old. And the girl
I know.
knows
I
how
have a 6-year-old niece, and they play Roblox all the
I
time.
love, and she's calling me, playing or whatever on the phone. Very cool. Layla Tamar and Benjamin Hillel. He's starting to talk already and walk.
Nice.
And my beautiful granddaughter Ahuva, and my grandson, my oldest grandson Yeshua, and Yael Miriam, who everybody saw my video.
Yes.
On my YouTube. I got
Some of my followers saw it, by the way.
I got like 1,000 hits
Yeah,
all
I
over
saw.
the place. So it was very cool, and they love seeing her. I want to give you my quote.
All right.
It's a wonderful quote. This is what I want to tell you it is. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to be start to be great. Stop waiting to feel good enough. Stop waiting enough to be talented enough. Stop waiting to feel that you have to be the best in the game. Get out there and start, and then you can be the best. And Tom, I don't know about you, but I hope either all of us or none of us are judged by our actions of our weakest moments, but rather by the strength that we show when and if we're even given a second chance. And the reason I tell you this this quote, and I've said it before, I was my son is on a cruise ship now,
Yes.
and he bumped into one of my teachers from 7th grade.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He
Very nice.
While he was a teacher, he went into the business. He got married, and many years later, like in his late 30s or 40s, he went to law school and became a lawyer.
Oh, well, we know your
Right.
routine.
So and when I was in 7th grade, I was a tough guy. My father, 7th, 8th grade, my father died. I was
Yep,
tough.
I
I
remember
was
that.
part of my own little gang I created with ballpark.
Well, that's what served you all those years later on Day Hill Road. What happened to you? Fight, Heshy, fight.
But it wasn't that. I just didn't want to be part of the establishment. I was depressed. We lost everything. My half brother took everything, and we were like poor, and I was a street guy.
I understand.
And this Mr. Kagan started to, I had to go to school, and he was like, trying to show me how to take care of a tough guy, but he didn't know the Tischlers are not as easy to push around. And he walks into class one day, he says, "There's no class today." And everybody's looking at him. He looks at me. He says, "What do you guys want to do?" And he looks at me. He says, "What do you want to do?" And I used to play checkers with these old guys from the World War II and the Army.
Oh, wow.
And he says, "What do you want to do?" I said, "Let's play a game of checkers." He says, "No problem." Heshy."
Okay.
He says, "I'm a good player. Whoever wins gets to decide what we do the rest of the day." And we had a series of 5 games. I think he let me win, but I beat him 2. He beat me 2, and everybody's coming around. And the 5th game, I won.
You
So what do
won.
you want to do? I said, "We want to go outside and play punch ball." He says, "No problem." The next day, he won. And we did this every day for the first 5 minutes of the class.
Wow.
And he broke me. He gave us jobs to fix old games. He gave us jobs to go out to volunteer. He taught us for instead of the 2-hour class, he taught us for 45 minutes and told us a story. And he gave me inspiration to change. to start learning. And when I became a teacher myself, going through school, paying my way, I used his ideas. And when now my son bumped into him, my son put him on a video. He says, "You won't believe who's on the cruise with me. Your old teacher from 7th grade, Mr. Howard Kagan." Mr. Kagan, thank you. Thank you for the second chance. And I've given many people, many children, many people in jobs a second chance. And my inspiration was you. You gave me the shot. You showed me how it is to be a better person, a better man, to help raise my family. I thank you, Mr. Kagan. I'm so happy you're hanging out with my son on the cruise.
Now, did you tell Mr. Kagan to get on to your son about something that you don't like?
No. You know that. I want to give you my joke.
All right, I'm going to try to laugh. I'm going to try.
So me and Linda were in a restaurant having dinner.
Okay, sounds good.
And I was a lifeguard. I've took some CPR courses and other AMT courses,
right,
through the years. Mm-hmm. When I was sitting in the restaurant, it was a very fancy restaurant, and I didn't order $500 meal. Me and Linda did our corned beef, chicken soup.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
A little extra stuff. Mm-hmm. So, anyways, the man started to choke on a fishbone. And people started to scream. So quickly I jumped up and I skillfully started to give him the Heimlich maneuver, got some little toothpicks and looked into his throat and pulled out the chicken bone. He was so happy and he says, "Heshy, I want to thank you. What can I pay for you? What can I give you?" He says, "Anything you want." I said, "Just give me half of what you were offering while you were choking on the
That was a good one.
Okay.
That was a good one.
And he had a good laugh. He paid for my meal. I said, "You don't have to pay for it." He paid for my meal. And he started to offer older people meals. I said, "You know what?" At the end, I said, "There's a bunch of special needs kids that need to go out for a weekend one day. Can you pay for that?" And he actually did. He went to Musaskin. He paid for a whole weekend for them to go upstate to our house, and it was just and he didn't have to.
Very nice.
I jumped up to help a fellow thing, and it was a funny story.
One good deed can change.
people's So I got a new car. Okay. And my old car was 7-seater. Now I went down from Acadia to Nissan.
Well, you did talk about this last week on the show.
It's much cuter. Instead of getting 300 miles for a fill-up, I get like 400 miles now for a fill-up. And the only problem is the two baby seats. I had the extra back third row.
Yeah.
Now I put in the second one. Nobody can sit in the car in the front seat. So it's pretty much for me and Linda. But it's a cute little car.
All right.
Brand new. They gave me a 2026 edition because
Wow.
they messed me up. Wow. No leather seats. I don't need it. I got the Apple, whatever, but I'm happy with it.
Congratulations.
And I want to tell you something.
Okay.
I feed 156 families every week. My rabbi called me on Thursday night. Heshy, there's a family of 8 that was thrown out, a mother with 8 children thrown out of her house, nowhere to go. We found her a temporary apartment. She has no food. I said, "Rabbi, it's Thursday night. We delivered our boxes. The center is closed. Even if I wanted to go shopping for it, I'd have to go in the morning, and I don't know." He says, "Heshy, I don't want to hear from you. I want you to do the impossible." I said, "I do that every day, but this is like impossible." So I called up my boss, Rabbi Fish, from the center, because I'm number 2 man, and I cried to him. He says, "Heshy, not a problem." I said, "Really, Rabbi, you have a rule not to open up the center?" He says, "Things are already put away, frozen, closed up. I'm going to open up for you." And we went there, we put on the ovens, and we sat there for 2 hours, and I started to package some quick boxes, nothing fancy, pretty. He says, "No, we don't do that here. If we open up, we're going to..." And he made us 2 beautiful, gigantic, gorgeous, big boxes for like 10 people.
That's very nice.
And he put it in my car, and I went to deliver it to the door. And I remember telling my children when I was raising them, they used to tell me, "How come you need a table set so nice, even for poor people not important?" I said, "Because everybody gets treated correctly, because that's how God rewards us when we stand."
Well, you want to treat people the way you want to treat people. I remember as a kid, my dad wound up like trying to raise money. There was an older couple. They were going through the garbage, and they were like picking through things. And I remember my dad actually going around. He got like he tried to help them. It didn't, they didn't really take the help, but
and some people are grateful. I helped a young man when he was in trouble with his building. Couldn't get it signed off. He couldn't get a CFO. He couldn't get it rented. He came to me like it was a few years, and I worked hard on it. It was a great building on Flatbush Avenue.
Wow.
And he got it by luck, but he couldn't make money on it, and I fixed it for him. I helped him out, went to the inspections, charged him less money. At the end, for some reason, he felt like he could screw me for $1,500. His name is Peretz Mintz. Anyways, today I got angry at him and I stopped calling him.
Okay.
So this weekend in my synagogue, there was a young man getting married. And he's
Congratulations.
divorced Peretz.
Okay.
And I always quoted him. I told him to do good and
Right.
tried to preach to him. Anyways, so a young man was getting married, and they rented our synagogue.
Wow.
And I fixed it up nice, and I asked him not to destroy it. They broke one of my shelves in the refrigerator, but I'll fix it. And they paid the synagogue money.
Okay.
So when we came back for the lunch meal, we weren't there. For the night meal, before the Sabbath is over, we have something called the Shalosh Shudas. We do prayers, and for the hour before the Sabbath ends, we sit around, we tell stories, we give out, some teaching of the rabbi speaks, I speak, we give some inspirational stories for the last hour, and we serve a little tuna fish, some lox,
And you don't tell your jokes?
So the rabbi always tells me not to, but I try. And then I tell a little quiet story. And showed up this week. That family showed up for our thing.
Family day,
to go, and they brought another 30 people to our event, and we had no problem because I have enough fellows to feed. And Mr. Peretzman shows up with a couple of his young friends. And they start, coming around me, trying to make jokes, trying to push around the politician, trying to show their attitude. And I told Peretz, I don't understand you. You know what I mean? You think you're smarter than me because my mouth is smarter than you. And I put them all in their place. And they said, we'll donate to your account. And of course, at 10:30 at night after the synagogue was over, I went home. Peretz and all his little friends started making prank calls to my house.
That's not right.
Ungrateful because I knocked him a little bit and I showed him that I'm not 25, 30 years old. I'm just as smart as them. I'm just as hip as cool as them. So when you want to be ungrateful, you can be ungrateful, everybody. I don't really care, I can take the calls. I can show you my strengths. I've worked hard. I've taken it all because if you didn't knock me, so I'm going to keep running for office. I'm going to win it. I know I've wasted a lot of the show talking about
listen, you know what? We're in August. You know what? We'll, the silly season's going to come back, so don't worry about that.
Right, and we're going to be ready to go.
Absolutely.
And we're going, so everybody tells me, do you support Curtis Lewa? Do you support... So let me tell you something. I told the people who came from the Republican Committee, Curtis supported my Democratic competitor. He really did.
He was on the petitions.
He was on debate. He actually supported my nemesis. He says, well, that's what it is. So either Curtis, you have your own brain, you have your own mind that you're going to be mayor, or when you're mayor, you're going to be pushed around.
And
by
this is a great point. And I know some of our listeners, which was William Gonzalez, it was Bob Trackman, who always listen to us every week and was saying, oh, well, Curtis is doing this, Curtis is doing that. And there is a point here that Curtis did not support you. He did not support other candidates
because he was pushed around by the hires. But I thought he's his own man.
But this is a guy
Look at Mandani.
But you
he
know what?
Doesn't care what
but
the
this
Democratic
is where I want to go
says.
back and go on Curtis. This is a guy that stood up to John Gotti. Why can't he stand up for what's right and support people like Heshy Tischler? Why hasn't he come?
He doesn't have to support me, but use your own
He should come
brain.
on this show. I said it last week.
Right.
When is Curtis is on all these other shows?
They want me to walk Curtis up and down 13th Avenue. I said I will, but look at Mandani. He doesn't care what the Democratic Party stands for. He's doing his socialism. He's saying his piece.
But Heshy, we talk. I'm glad you brought this up because I want to butt in for a minute because you've talked every week. You and I have gone back and forth for months about Adams, Curtis, Cuomo, this other guy Walden once upon a time, but apparently
there's a new guy,
a businessman, a man that's been successful, a man that has gone out there and he's made something for himself and others, and he's on the ballot, and he seems like a guy that you and I seem to be really in line with. His name's Joseph Hernandez.
And he's
How about
exactly opposite of all socialist facets.
Was on Newsmax. I saw recently. He was on Fox Business.
But the people in the city don't know him yet.
They don't.
Will he raise enough money? Did he get matching funds?
No, he didn't get them yet, but he did loan his campaign a substantial amount of money, so maybe he's in it to win it.
And what about, I heard again, Adams got zero.
Apparently he's suing the campaign finance board now.
But that's not going to be too late.
Yeah, pretty much.
Can I tell you what the new poll that I saw?
I saw something this morning. Let's see what yours is.
So I'm
going to
tell you. Here's my poll numbers.
All right, let's go.
The poll from Gotham Polling.
I saw that.
Says that Mandani is up by 18% over Cuomo, 42 to 23. Eric Adams, single digits. Curtis Lee was 17%.
Well, actually, it's the other way around. Curtis had 10. Adams had 17. That's what I saw.
That's the Gotham.
That's Gotham.
The Siena poll, again, shows...
we talked about that one last week.
Shows that Cuomo caught up a little bit.
44 to 20.
Okay, fine. Wait, it gets better. Then you have, these are like 50 different polls.
That's what
so
they
who
do.
Could possibly be right? So here it gets better. Then you have I don't know what this Public Progress Solutions, the Zenith Research Group says
so
Mamdani has 50%, nothing to discuss.
These are older polls.
Right. So now we're getting to the polls that say he's going to lose. We have a poll that says that the slingshot strategy is saying that Mamdani only has 35.
But your poll was conducted on July 2nd.
Okay.
So you're going back in time.
Now we have a poll for the Honan Strategy Group that says Mamdani and Cuomo are even.
But your polls were older. The most recent
and here's
poll.
another one.
I know you're telling me. I got
the
it.
The Manhattan Institute says Cuomo's going to win.
But that was before the Democratic primary. You can't give me polls in June.
No, these are new polls.
No, I saw your poll notes. They were June 11th. Your most recent poll, the one you quoted from Gotham, is the most recent one today. And that one had, which you had Mamdani 42, Cuomo 23. That's
25.
23. It was 44 to 25 last week.
Still, okay.
But here's what I take away from that every time. Regardless of the numbers, these three candidates, Cuomo, Adams, and Curtis, they add up to enough votes to outrank Mamdani, but they're all on the ballot.
But I believe that if two of them drop out, he's not going to get all those dropout votes. Some of them will go to Mamdani. People are voting for Adams because they're loyal to Adams.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
But they're Democrats. So if Adams drops out, they're not voting for a Republican sleeper.
I think Cuomo gets more of the I'm a loyal Democrat than Adams.
Yeah, but that still doesn't push him over the 40% mark. And Mamdani has a solid 40% mark according to. I don't believe he has it.
Every poll shows him 40. I know they show him 42, and that's why 44. But that's why Donald Trump. I talked about this last week.
If Mamdani becomes mayor, New York is dead. New York is dead.
And I brought this up.
And the protests,
And Donald Trump, he sees the same thing. And that's why he's weighed getting involved in this race and backing someone that's not named Curtis, because Curtis can't win. He can't win.
And I have a question for you. Mr. Socialist Mamdani is going to allow, they just started up the 2nd Avenue subway again.
Yes, I did see that. Yes.
$2 billion. Now,
ridiculous.
it's going to go to $4 billion.
Oh, yeah, I agreed on that.
My question is, take that $2 billion, fix the transit system that you have now.
I couldn't agree with you more, because I was coming on my way back.
And it's a 50-year-old project that never finished. Let's stop.
But I want to go back on two things that you said, and I couldn't agree with you more. First part is, all this money from congestion pricing, how come things are worse with transit? Right. First part. Second, almost every day this summer, there's been a problem on the subways.
Yeah.
You would think with all this money that they've got now, they've said congestion pricing.
Clean up the rats, clean up the garbage, make the place nicer.
I'm in the city almost every day this summer, which is, I can say for the first time, I've been in the city almost every day since before COVID. I've never seen more delays on the trains. I've never seen more incidents.
I want to tell you,
what?
I saw a video. I'm embarrassed to tell you. A guy gets,
We're live. Let's hear it.
A guy gets on the train, starts screaming and hollering, I'm going to F all of you. I'm going to beat you up. And then he sits next to two ladies.
Okay.
And one of the ladies gets up and runs away. And the other lady tried to get up and he grabbed her hair. And he says, you're not going nowhere, lady. A young girl, maybe about in her 20s. And nobody got up to help her. Nobody, as he held her.
I believe it.
And then he got up and started to drag her by there, and nobody did anything. No cops, no nothing.
Well, that's why I'm going to show it for our audience. That's why I'm always carrying something. You always got to carry.
I'll tell you what I'm carrying, baby.
You're different, but you're on the subway every day. Listen,
I know. I've been on the subway many times. I'm always careful. Always.
You gotta.
And I'm ready to defend my fellow New Yorkers.
But it's sad that we've come back to the point of like Bernard Getz, the subway guy.
God.
But that's what we've come back to, because the subways are what they are. But they promised us everything was going to be fixed.
And the police, you know what the police are busy with? Saturday. Because the Jews couldn't be around.
How about what happened in Crown Heights this past weekend at the club? All those people getting killed, and they say, "Oh, Adams said 2 weeks ago the city's the safest it's ever been." How are we doing now?
More shootings, 10 more shootings,
That's
8
what I'm saying.
shootings. You're just lying, but I've been telling you that every week.
You and I are on the
Your
same
numbers
page
are wrong.
Well, Adams is
Not
number
Adams.
one. Yeah, yeah.
But I've been talking. I talked to you. I meant the city.
Yeah, I was
because
gonna
you're
say.
one of them. You know.
Yeah.
But I want to make a change, and I believe that if you don't elect me, there'll be nobody to fight.
And
Mandani.
that's why you need to go to HeshyTishla.com. That's why you need to stop by our office after Labor Day, 5318 16th Avenue. That's why you need to email Heshy,
donate your time. You got to get me
justinfheshy@gmail.com.
elected, because even if Mandani gets there, you need like Simcha Felde with all the streets being closed. You can't find him anywhere.
No,
You know?
today, how about today? All the streets here in Borough Park.
Yeah, all the streets. I mean, again, they just close it. No, they don't tell anybody about it. Go around.
He's busy taking money from a potential city council speaker candidate in the Bronx rather than helping his. No, it's actually on the record.
And you know how I got the family of 8? My rabbi says they went to Simcha Felder's office. Simcha Felder's office did not even cooperate.
Was anyone
with
even
them.
there?
Right. And they said to him, "What neighborhood are you in?" And they told him the neighborhood that the lady was thrown out.
Right.
So they found my rabbi, and my rabbi said, "I don't know the lady Heshy, but help." And that's how we got it. That his office did nothing for them, and they sent him to me in a way through a different way.
You know, this has been a common theme for years. The local representatives of our area cannot do the simple job, but you do it. And that's why if you're here.
Kalman Yeager gets on Twitter and he makes a comment. That's what you did, comment. That's your thing, commenting.
That's all he does. What he's too busy is getting involved in this. And maybe he should get off X and help his constituents.
Maybe he should get off his behind.
But you know what? Next year's coming, and I would love to see somebody give Kalman Yeager a run for his money, because he got in there.
If I get into office, I will challenge all those candidates, and I will raise the money. By the way, you know, COVID. You mentioned COVID-19 before.
I did.
We all know it was fake, and we know that there's another virus that's coming now.
Was it Legionnaire's disease? Oh, God.
Every day, people, there is no diseases. But now, the pediatrics, since they're not making money anymore, you know how much money they made on those shots? Thousands of dollars. Now the pediatric group recommends a new COVID-19 shot for infants. Toddlers, for the toddlers. In contrast to the CDC advice that says, no, don't you dare give it to them. Even the CDC says now, don't give it to them. See how everything works?
It was a fraud, the whole thing. I agree with you completely.
By the way, you heard about Zohan Mandani's apartment, right?
Yes.
Okay. You know that his finances,
the rent stabilized apartment.
Forget about it. His finances are very deceitful. They're saying.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they were checking over his finances, and
so what did you find out?
Well, I'm going to tell you that there was some issues with his stock accounts that he claims. There's issues with monies that he has put away. Financial disclosure filings filled with discrepancies, understating his wealth. And he hasn't been punished for it. He should be punished for it.
Well, you know what? Obviously, this kind of is a
We'll catch him on the next round.
But you know what?
But once he's mayor, he's going to raise millions of dollars. He'll be able to pay it back.
Obviously, but there is something that's a theme. It's almost a continuous theme with him. He, in the legislature, passed only 3 bills.
Yeah.
He's been somebody that has coasted through life. He is somebody that really hasn't had to make any serious, important decisions. Yeah. And something like this, even, it's a chain of events. Yeah. And what is going to happen if this guy runs this city? And we have...
Just like Saturday. I mean, again, thousands of people showed up in Midtown Manhattan, stopping the city again. This guy who was arrested and almost deported, what's his name, Khalil or whatever?
Muhammad Khalil?
Whatever, you remember they let him go finally? Yeah. So he gets there screaming about Gaza and Trump.
Well, Times Square has had a lot of incidents
but my point is they allow this to happen. They should be arrested. It should be illegal. They don't have permits. But this is what the police are busy with. They're not even arresting them. But if I would go there screaming and hollering, they'd arrest me.
We know that, yeah. I mean, you would forget about it.
And again, incompetence, and with Zohar Mandani there, this is what's going to happen. And, you know, I want to laugh at you about something, but
go for it.
There was an incident, and it's on camera. A guy came to rob a lady's house. She had a lot of robberies for her packages being stolen off her porch.
Yeah.
And a guy came to her house to rob, and she was watching it.
Okay.
And as he's robbing the package, she opens the door. The guy's with a mask on his face and everything. She opens his door and he gets startled, and she pulls out her gun. And he puts up his hand and she shoots him in the hand. And he starts screaming, "Are you crazy, lady? You shooting me?" She says, "You're robbing me." She says, "I know you robbed me once before." He says, "Yeah, the last time I robbed you was for some stupid pens that didn't even work." And she says, "Of course I says, "I don't know, the stupid pens didn't work because you robbed me." She says, "You shot me for a package. I'm calling the police." She says, "Call the police. You're robbing me and you're calling the police on me."
So what happens?
Nothing. The video ended there. I don't know if the police arrested her for having a gun. In
My
her own
thought
house.
was they're going to arrest her. That's my thought.
You believe it? He's robbing, and he calls the robber who robbed before admits that he robbed on video.
Listen,
calling the police
if he's doing that, she deserves to do everything she wants to
According to
him.
the Second Amendment, you're allowed to.
I agree.
In your own home.
I agree, absolutely.
And
Self-defense.
he's screaming right. And he wanted to
Self-defense.
attack her, and she held that gun again against him. She says, "I'll shoot you now in the head."
I don't blame
I want
her.
to tell you about our wacko politicians. That's what this show is about. Let's start with Justin Brannon.
Okay. Justin Brannon.
I thought he had some brains. The man is retarded. He was George Skarikopoulos' district.
Yeah, he's the councilman there. Yeah,
Forget
the
this fraud
47th
that was
district.
done in his district.
Right.
You know, they arrested a lot of people for election fraud. Not just now, but it's an ongoing investigation
Okay.
for a couple of years in Texas. A bunch of people.
I did see
and
that.
Now they have that investigation that I spoke to Laura Newberger from. They even asked me Richard Bassemian's Jen Moore asked me who's in charge, right? So from the thing, and I said, this lady called me. I haven't, really cooperated because, you have enough evidence without me. But she says, "Oh, we didn't do anything." I said, "Well, they're investigating."
I mean, you're in a
ballot
separate
stuffing.
district. I don't know what you would know about that.
No, but there's election fraud on the Republican end in a lot of districts. And election fraud in the Democratic thing. A lot of people are committing election fraud, stuffing ballots.
Well, we talked about it 2 years ago in your race.
I'm hoping it's going to take about 2 years till they figure it out. But there is now they're finally admitting that there is election fraud, and President Trump is right. The mail-in ballots shouldn't work anymore. You don't vote on the day of election or inside. It doesn't count.
Unless to me you're in the military, or you're disabled. To me,
a military ballot is done in the military. It shouldn't be mailed in. It should be given to the military. A ballot.
But I generally agree.
And you can fly it over in one day.
I think I get President Trump's point, and I generally agree with the fact that people shouldn't have no fault absentee or mail-in ballot. Right. If you are physically able, you can go to a polling site. They spend so much money to open these
ballots. You get in the mail. It has to be.
Well, New York used to have that law. New York had a law where basically the only way you could vote by mail was if you were disabled or couldn't walk.
Be dropped off. It has to be mailed back, and it has to have a return address.
But I understand President Trump's point because there has been so much fraud. Look at California. They have elections that go on for months.
Yeah.
We talked about this on the show a couple times. They had an election that took like 2 months to be decided because they kept counting ballots. That shouldn't be. Places like California where they have these ballot harvesting, that shouldn't be. So President Trump's right to mostly on that.
But you guys think that me and Tom are crazy when we talk about our wacko politicians. These local guys think they can get away with anything. Justin Brannon wants to shut off the power and electricity to 26 Federal Plaza. He says, "I don't like what they're doing with the immigrants. Let's shut the building down so ICE can't operate at all."
Well, everybody,
I'm coughing because I'm choking because this man, if God forbid we did anything to the federal government or we fought with a judge, here he wants to shut off the electricity. So if he can have the power to do that, when I become councilman, all these judges that don't follow the rules or keep cases going longer than 3 months, I want to be able to take away their budgets, take away their parking. I want to be able to not only shut down the judges because since you're not working, you're taking forever and going home early. I want to be able to take away the budget from a district attorney that allows criminals. And I want to tell you
I think that's a great point.
I want to tell you something funny. Do you know that Hochul has pardoned illegal immigrants with criminal records and even murder?
Of course she has.
So the ICE, right? But no, she pardoned criminals with illegal immigrants that can never get U.S. citizenship or green card.
Of course she did.
By pardoning them of their crimes of murder and other crimes.
I believe it.
I don't understand. You didn't pardon me for having a fake right that I didn't touch anybody. Made me go through the system, but here you're pardoning the guy.
Because Kathy Hochul wants to be a national figure, and she thinks that that's good with the Zorhan Mamdani cut, which, by the way, she's been saying good things about him. So
Here's another one she did. A moped riding perp shot dead after pulling a gun on a New York City cop during a robbery. He was an illegal immigrant and involved with 3 other thefts.
What a surprise. What a shock. What a shock.
It's like you guys make fun of us, so they're coming after us. If
of course they are.
Comes out, I'm going to protect myself. I'm going to protect my
And can you imagine him with Jumaane Williams?
Oh, God.
You got him and the tag team that's going to destroy the city, the two of them together?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. So I want to talk to you about your Republican leaders.
Okay.
I mean, your Democratic leaders. They're making fun of Trump. I was watching CNN. They were saying that the Trump...
I told you it's communist news ever. You're watching it, why?
The Trump-Putin peace deal,
right.
Trump is playing around. The man is a deal maker. He got Putin to come to America to make a deal to stop the war, and you're not happy. And they're saying that it's all fake. And then he got, just to go a step further, he met with all the European leaders, got Zelensky to come with a suit this time.
I saw that.
And a deal is close to being made, and they're not happy. I mean, it's like you can never make these leftist retards happy. What do they want from us?
You know what they have?
You're not coming after me. I'm not. Once you come in there and raise my taxes over stupidity, I'm stopping.
I got the line for you. Do you remember when they used it during the first term of Trump's presidency? It's Trump derangement syndrome. That's what these people have had. They've had it now for a decade. And that's, to me, why you see those reactions. They still have Trump derangement syndrome. It's TDS.
Yeah.
That's what they have. That's simple as that.
It's not even the Trump. It's the Republican syndrome. They want to take over. They want to take our monies. They want to, there was one, I just saw another politician get up over there screaming, you know who's the 1% that's ruining the country? Not the black. Not the Asian.
Right.
Not the Muslims. The billionaires. Now, the reason they're billionaires is because they came up with a great product.
Yep.
You needed their guidance. You needed their ingenuity.
Yeah.
They would have never done it if they didn't make money and get a better life for themselves. Now, you're right. They should give charity, and I'm sure they do. But it's not your thing that he provides you with a service that you need. And now he made the money. The billionaires became money because lots of people use his product.
Well, I think to get to that level, you had to do something extremely extraordinary.
Right. Now you want to take away his profits, his monies, not to be the billionaire.
Because remember,
and even if you take it away, then he's not going to continue.
It's what's the word you always use about Zorhan? Socialist?
And the services the city provides.
Yes, I'm with you.
The private services the city provides that a private
I'm with you, but the word is there. Remember, they hate capitalism. They're socialists. So these people, just the Zorhan crowd, they hate these people and anybody that's successful because they want to take away from them. It's all about, when we were in school, class warfare. This is what these people enact. And when they get in power, that's what they do times 10.
The city can't fix the piping, so they hire private companies. They pay them extra money.
Right.
The city can't go into fixed buildings, so they hire private contractors and pay them double and triple because they can't do the job. When they manage their own buildings, like the New York City Housing Authority and other buildings,
talks plenty about
slum. That. But when they take private receivers like me, we make the jobs better.
Yep.
So you're telling me that government that will take away our profits, our monies, our stuff, it's just wrong. You see how slow the city moves in everything they do.
Terrible.
I don't know. Now, I want to talk about, what do you think about the Trump deal with Ukraine? I mean, of course, I wish the war would have ended, just like I wish the war with Gaza. But I know, like Trump said, and Israel, even the people in Gaza are protesting that Hamas should give up their...
So I have
Hamas should give up their leadership, and Hamas is not giving up. You know why? Not because they're political adversaries, because they're a gang of murderous thieves.
Yes, they are.
And that's why they're not going away, because that's the only way they can make a profit.
I want to go back to your original part of the question, which was on Ukraine, and I want to answer it in a completely different way. This whole problem, Ukraine, is Barack Obama and Joe Biden's fault. Yeah. This is the reason why we're in it. And what Donald,
and Putin said, during the Alaska thing, the summit, he says, I wouldn't have gone to war if Trump was in power.
That's exact. Listen, they're the one. Barack Obama was the
and
Barack Obama. It was his idea with Ukraine back in 2014, and then Joe Biden was in power, and we know that this problem has been going on since late 2021. And we know he was nowhere to be found. So really, That's why I said that we didn't have this problem when Trump was president the first term. So on this, to going back to your point, Trump is almost left to clean up the mess of what Barack Obama and Joe Biden created when it came to this particular issue. That's why Heshy is looking around, because he needs your help to go to HeshyTishler.com, JustEnoughHeshy@gmail.com, 5318 16th Avenue. Stop by the office after Labor Day, and Heshy's getting a legendary campaign manager. I mean, a man that has won elections, a man that has advised presidents, a man that has advised governors. He advised the state Senate majority here in New York, a man that has gotten people elected left and right. You name it, he's done it. He's a pundit.
They're going after Letitia James and Schiff.
One of your favorites.
He says it's a political, forgot the one.
Witch hunt?
Witch hunt.
Yes.
Now, Adam Schiff, you bad man, okay?
Him and Gavin Newsom. I mean, obviously, if you want to give a call, we'll be back next week to give that call. Just want to say.
But I just want you to know that these guys were all complaining about January 6th, the riots. They themselves don't talk about all the witch hunts they've done, all the people they ripped down, all the lies they've done. They themselves have done mortgage fraud, both of them. Mortgage fraud, and you know that Adam Schiff, while the regular mortgage rate, I have to pay 7.5%, 6.5%. Even if the lowest was 5.5%, he got a 3.5% mortgage rate.
That's not right.
He made a deal. How did he do it? And he said both houses is his main houses. The point is, these guys know how to get away with it.
You and I both know how he did it.
Right.
Let's be honest.
Okay. Plus, he leaked information, private, sensitively leaked. Now, you're telling us the Russiagate leaking to Russia. Here, this guy leaked actual sensitive information about an ongoing investigation. That alone should put him in jail.
Listen, California, I mean, all of them are bad. Gavin Newsom, I mean,
I want to show you.
Adam Schiff.
You're all saying that Trump is a dictator. I don't see any dictatorship.
I think Kathy Hochul and Gavin Newsom are the dictators. Right. That's what I think.
I'm not listening to Kathy Hochul. I'm never going to listen to Mandani. You can come to my neighborhood. I'm going to fight you. I know that if I'm not elected, I can't help the rest of the people, but I'm sure going to help my neighborhood. I'm going to continue doing the best I can, and I will build myself a security force because I know this city is going to get wild. They're going to come. And they're going to come hard to my neighborhood, and I'm not going to be able to stop them. Over and over again, I can't. So I'm going to let my people, but if they put me in power, if they give me a shot, I will stop these animals. And I think
you can. If you're here in this chat, and I say it all the time, week after week, Black Beauty, Infinite Justice, JDL Brotherhood, Hannah Sandberg, everybody that's listening each and every week on this show, you know what you need to do. HeshyTishler.com. Yep. JustEnoughHeshy@gmail.com. 5318 16th Avenue. Stop by this office anytime after Labor Day. We're going to do it to prove a point. We will bang those drums. We will bang on those walls. We're going to do that to get our people who are in this chat every week who are telling us about this and telling us about that. And Infinite Justice, if you think George Sarantopoulos is a rhino, that's fine by me. But if you want Heshy Tishler to get him elected, you know he's not a rhino. You know that Heshy Tishler is the one and only Just Enough Heshy. So come on down. Let's get this.
We got this. I want to go into world politics.
Let's talk about it.
In Venezuela, you have this Nicolas Maduro. Okay?
Yeah, I heard
and I'll
of him.
show you what socialism and bad thing is. This guy, he's deploying 4.5 million militia members in response to an outlandish threat by the U.S. Venezuelan president on Monday said he would deploy 4.5 million. Where the hell is he getting these people? In response to a threat that the United States that have a bounty for his arrest for $50 million and launched an anti-drug operation in the Caribbean. Now, this man is selling drugs from Venezuela. He's doing bad things. He has 4.5 million soldiers when America only has 1 million or 1.5 million soldiers. Now, where's he getting all this money from?
He's obviously using
militia. He's using drug money.
I was gonna say drugs.
He's stealing left and right to protect himself, and the people in that country are stupid for letting him get away with it.
Oh, for sure. I mean,
but nobody wants to put this.
But they're also in these places. They don't have a choice, Heshy.
You have to. In America, we've had a lot of people that put their lives in the line for the freedom that you and I get. I was speaking to somebody the other day and said to them, "Can you pledge allegiance?" And they couldn't even pledge allegiance.
Well, did you see Nicole Maliotakis couldn't do it?
Yeah.
The congresswoman who's been elected and this and that ran for mayor couldn't even do it.
Right, to the flag.
A joke.
We learned it in first grade. and you couldn't
It's
even say what
embarrassing.
one hard
But isn't that
word.
embarrassing that
Yeah.
Nicole Maliotakis, who's been in office, who you helped get elected years ago,
Yeah.
can't even recite the pledge?
Right.
It's embarrassing. You're a congresswoman. You're the only Republican representative from New York City. You're telling me you can't get up there and come on. That's
And
embarrassing.
she takes credit for a lot of other stupid
She
stuff.
did this, she
But
did that.
She did. The homeless shelters are popping up.
Everything left and right's
It's
terrible here in
nothing
Brooklyn.
is happening. So they're telling me now because I'm the one who stopped one homeless shelter.
Yes, you did.
So now they want to stop one at 2118, I think Flatbush Avenue.
Oh, you're talking about the one on Coil Street? It's one on Coil Street and one on Flatbush Avenue.
Yeah. They have I don't know what you want me to do. You guys don't want me. Then when you're in trouble, you want me. There's nothing I can do for you. You should have come to me when you don't want me.
I agree.
And again, I got another text message from this group of people trying to fight the homeless shelter in Borough Park. Did you reach Senator Sutton? This is already 3 weeks. 10 times they're asking the same question. Well, we're trying to get to him. We're calling him. Here's a man who has not called them back.
As he
And they
exists.
have like 500 members. But they're not helping themselves. They all think that we're going to help them. Or it's just going to come to them.
No.
Okay.
That's not how it's going to work.
Yeah. Anyways, we are.
We're almost.
still-
We have about
no,
15 minutes. We
Yeah.
got 15 minutes. Keep going. I want to hear what you have to say about some other things. And you go back to Mamdani though, and I keep asking you this question every week. At the end of the day, I think somebody else should get a chance, and I think I like this guy Joseph Hernandez.
I
you
love
you were
Joseph
talking about this guy,
I like
and
this guy.
because every week, we talk about Curtis, and
Joseph Hernandez, by the way, is his own man.
and that's what I like about it. He's not listening.
He's not
to,
like Walden either. Walden is more of a
Walden-
prosecutor that thinks he's
But
going.
Walden, to be honest, he played the game. Walden, at the end of the day, Walden's really like everybody else. But this guy Hernandez, self-made man, immigrant, another guy that's went out there, created businesses, created jobs, made a difference, helped the economy grow here in this city. This is a guy that's not going to be
He
tied
knows
to the...
he's like a Trump.
Well, you know what you said at the beginning of the show? You said from a very early age, right after your father passed away, that this is how it ties into what you said earlier on about the establishment. You always had to fight the establishment because you remembered what happened. Joseph Hernandez is the only candidate that I've seen so far that even said that he was sick and tired of the establishment, that he wasn't playing the same games. Because let's be honest, let's call a spade a spade. Walden's establishment, Adams, let's not even go there.
Yeah.
Cuomo, let's not even go there. Mamdani, let's not even go there. And Curtis, he's establishment too. Hernandez.
He wasn't, and now he is.
He is. Listen, Curtis has been in New York City circles for 50 years. Let's be honest. Every single one of them are establishment. What this election's about is holding your nose and voting for the least worst option. But Joseph Hernandez, if he could be somebody...
I should have run for mayor, but I can't win for councilman.
But Joseph Hernandez, he should come on this show, and I send this invite to Curtis too.
President too.
Janine could come on, but I think Janine's got she got her work cut out for. I don't know her personally. I don't know her.
Again, the Republican line. She has the
But Joseph Hernandez, to me, that's a guy I want to hear more about. Janine's great. I'm sure is going to tell us about her background.
Our Republican chairmans, who are controlled by the conservative party, Jerry, what's his name again?
Casser?
Casserole?
Casserole? Is it Casserole? Gerard Casserole?
And Fran something.
Oh, that was the Lisa Simpson lookalike, right?
They have no jobs. Fran has some secretary jobs. And they have a great life. Money's coming in. I don't know how.
I'll tell you how it is, because they, like everybody else, the Republican and conservative leaders in New York City are really controlled by Democrats. Why do I say that? Because look at the guy on Staten Island, Tanusis. Nobody runs against him. He's a Republican. No Democrat runs against him. The Queen's leader, Areola, nobody runs against her.
And what's her name again? I used to like her from Staten Island. Valerie Vivian. What's her name again? The councilwoman from Staten Island.
Well,
Palladino.
That's Queens. Vicky Palladino's queen. She's queens.
Okay.
She's another
She
one.
was supposed
Got
to be
elected, told everybody like you has she, and then got in there, plays the game. And that's what they all
She wants to
do.
be reelected.
And that's why politicians need to be changed like laundry clothes. They need to be changed every so often. That's why I'm a believer in term limits.
A diaper.
Pretty much. That's what they are. They get in there, and it's like cockroaches. You can't get rid of them.
At least the city has term limits. I wish Congress had term limits. I wish the Senate had term limits. Those are the people that have to go out because they're the
My opinion is every office should have term limits. Listen, you always talk about the Constitution on this show, right?
Yeah.
You talk about how you read the Constitution, you carry it with you.
Constantly.
And to me,
And I carry it with
and
me
I'm with
every
you.
day. Every day,
I'm
ladies
with
and
you.
gentlemen.
But the founding fathers didn't want politics to become a career. Why is it that people like, there's a guy, David Carr, represents a little bit of Brooklyn. This guy's been in government since he's like 10. He's like 35. So that means this guy, when he gets out of council, he's going to have a pension. Ina Vernikova, let's not even go there. Ari Kagan was running. This guy was been on government payroll since Bill Clinton was president.
Yeah.
Every person you look at up and down the list that's Republican or Democrat, they're career servants. Kalman, let's not even go there. Simca Felter came back. Left the council, right? Got a job with the comptroller's office, went back to the Senate, now is back in the council. Now what they do is they get in the Assembly and the Senate for 8 or 10 years, and they come back. Helen Weinstein retired with a pension. Peter Abadi retired with a pension. All they do, this should not be that way. It should be, listen, 4 years, 8 years, and that's it, you're done. Move on. Give somebody else a chance.
Too. We can't have Hochul this term and another. I mean,
She's been in office for 20 plus years. She was a county clerk. She was a congresswoman. She was lieutenant governor. And that's why Joseph Hernandez to me sounds interesting, because everybody we talk about, Mamdani is a 33-year-old career politician. Cuomo, the guy's a Nepo baby. Eric Adams, he's been in politics too long. Curtis has been around for 50 years. Jim Walden, this guy's played the game.
Yeah.
Joseph Hernandez put his own money where his mouth is to make the ballot. Joseph Hernandez sounds like a guy we should have on this show.
The problem with Joseph Hernandez is he's Cuban. He's Latino. The city's not ready for a Latino mayor.
I disagree with that. I think that, you know what?
We're ready for a black mayor, white mayor.
But you're ready for Zohair Mamdani?
We're not.
But Joseph,
I guess Muslim is.
But Joseph Hernandez, we don't know. We don't know.
The Muslims outweigh.
Look, what's going to hurt Hernandez is that he got in this race way too late. The reality of it is that he got in.
Is it way too late?
I think it
Danny
is.
only got 10 million matching funds. He blew most of it.
Well, we have to see what Hernandez does, but that's going to be the knock on him. The knock is going to be on him is that
he's not getting any major
We'll find out.
I know.
We'll find out.
I know you're all scared. I know you're all freaking out over the election. It's your fault. You got to get your friends out there. You still have time to register to vote.
So let me ask you a question. All right, going back to this election, right? Going back, Andrew Cuomo's second in all these polls. Would you take, I'm going to say, you ready? Drum roll, please. Would you take an Andrew Cuomo mayor over a Zohair Mamdani mayor at this point?
No.
So what do you, why do you say that for?
Andrew Cuomo is a sick mental.
So you want Mamdani over Cuomo?
So again, Mamdani is an idiot. None of it. He really has no brains. I mean, look, he doesn't know how to pay for any of the programs that he's come up with. He has no idea how to run this city. Simple, plain. He has no experience, and you have 300 government agencies that he's gonna. If you think now what they're doing to you, he's gonna let them fly. So if he can tell you free groceries and free rent, you don't understand. The judges are gonna be happy because they don't ever have to rule for a landlord.
They don't have to do anything.
They don't have to do anything. Right,
Yeah.
so they're never going to look bad, and they're just going to get paid. Mamdani, he's not going to get any new police officers, so whatever is there now, they're going to run rapid. They're not going to work out.
We're going to lose police officers. We're going to lose them.
Okay? He's not going to know how to control the budget. We're going to go bust real fast. Forget the tax. So people are going to lose their buildings. You're going to be able to buy real estate cheap in New York City. So if you hang around, a lot of people are going to have tax liens, water liens on them because everything is going up in prices by the city. They're just going to raise it. You're not going to afford it. So people are going to default on their loans, default on their stuff. And you're going to buy it cheap. So you're going to say, how are you going to afford it? Because you're buying a building worth $2 million for less than $1 million. So you're going to make enough money to cover yourself for 10 years till you get a better administration.
Absolutely.
And that's what happened in the 80s and the 90s.
Yep.
When people lost their buildings, they couldn't afford what was going on. So then they just lost it. They sold their buildings for I know a guy.
And nobody knew.
I know a guy. Who
and I
bought
want to say
buildings
goodbye.
for-
And I want to say goodbye to our listeners before you do that. Goodbye to our listeners over at WSNR 620 AM. WNEW 1027 FM, and of course WJPR 1640 AM. Thank you so much, everybody, and we will see you next week on the Just Enough Heshy Show.
But as I was saying, people bought buildings in Alphabet City on First
Yes.
Avenue and 10th Street
I was
for
there.
$1, for $2.
Yep.
Now they're worth $100 million.
Nobody knew.
Right. People did know because they're saying for $1, how can I go wrong? Even if the building is crap, even if I have to put money in, even if I'm going to get fined.
But the safety of the area wanted people to leave.
But the point, right. And the gang, we have gang members running around the Bronx just openly. Cops are not stopping
Absolutely.
them. Under Mandani.
And why should they stop them? If you're a police officer, you just want to do your time and get out. And you also know you're getting sued, qualified immunity.
Yeah.
You also know if you arrest them because of no cash bail, they're getting out. So really,
the cops-
why do your job as a police
the problem
officer?
that I have with the cops is now I love the cops.
I know you do.
they put their lives on the line, but some of them are coming back with zero.
Yeah.
They're going out there. They're scared for themselves. They're scared to get shot.
So,
they know they
I'll
can't
tell
beat
you
up.
what they're gonna
So what
wind
they
up
do
doing.
is they're doing more. If you look at the polls, they're doing more traffic stops.
I was going to say the same. That's what they're doing now more.
So
Yep.
forget they're giving tickets. They're actually arresting people.
It's all about ticket revenue.
Right. So
That's
the
what they're
people
doing.
are
They're
saying-
becoming ticket cops
So the people
now.
are coming over to the cops. Hey, man, what did I do? Show me your ID. But again, according to the law, they have to tell you beforehand.
Yeah.
And so they tell you to get out of the car. The answer is don't get out of the car.
No.
Sometimes they drag you out of the car, arrest
Well, that's
you
why you're going to be a
anyways.
lawyer in defense.
Again, you can defend as many as you want, but when you have like 100 of those cases,
Yeah.
and the cops get away with most, and the cops are not stupid.
Oh,
They know
absolutely.
they can't drag you out of a car over a ticket. They know they have to call their sergeant or supervisor.
Yeah.
They're told, listen, you just do it. It's going to be swept under the rug, and you owe us one, you owe us two. You've done something, and you'll get your promotion or a raise, and you'll be able to take a test. So everybody's doing it. It's a deal. I know from inside sources that a lot of the cops who break the rules are told, break the rule, we'll cover for you later on.
Terrible.
Yeah.
What's going on out there? But it all goes down to why, if I'm a police officer, do I want to do my job?
I'm not knocking immigrants. Don't get me wrong. I love this country. I know the
I know
country
you
is
do.
built on immigrants. I know that you're here. I know what you're doing.
But
and
legal.
even if you're not legal here already now, the people are not going to anymore. The problem with now is
Stop.
that I do agree that ICE has no right to go to the hearings. Because when the people walk out of the hearings, they're being arrested. But the problem with the hearings is that everybody who goes there is being let go the next minute.
Well, that's
So the hearings, that's where the ICE is saying, look, if you ran a proper system, then we'll let you continue. But the hearings are all leftists, and they let everybody go. They're not
Yeah, it's an
following the
agenda.
rules. Now, you're right. If you're asking for amnesty, if you're asking for other things, yes, go through the hearing, let them get a lawyer if they have a lawyer. But if you're using a city lawyer, if you're not paying your taxes or bills, yeah, then again, be arrested. If you have a criminal history, not even if you have a criminal history from another country, if you have a criminal history here, they let you go.
Terrible.
Cashless bails.
And Kathy Hochul has done nothing to change this law. These meaningless
Justin Brannon, a waste of human resources, but he philanders to, again, his community, which is the Muslim community. I don't even know why they put him in. So he's putting his assistant, who's a Muslim, Kayla.
Well, she's not Muslim. She's worked for the Arab American Association of New York.
Right.
She's running against George.
What is she?
She's not Muslim, no.
I thought she married a Muslim?
No.
No?
She did not.
Well, she's very close in that
She worked for the Arab American, so she was close with Linda Sarsour. Obviously, that's where you're probably going there. But, she's...
Does George have a chance?
I think that's,
But Kayla is now complaining that it wasn't Richie Barsimian, that it was George who did the election fraud, or George is making stuff up.
Well,
Why is she mixing into
I'm
this
not
thing?
in
What
on
does she
that
care
case.
who? Because she knows George has a chance to be there, and Richie had no chance.
Well, I think that George had a better chance than Dick ran. I think that certainly, though, the Democrat is favored in that district.
Well,
in my
George
opinion,
is making phone calls. He is hitting his
he's
feet.
good
trying to
at
get the greens.
definitely have to do a lot of phone calling, but he's got tough odds. I'm going to be honest. He's got his work cut out for him.
Okay.
He's
Well,
got,
he's raising the money.
we'll
She
find
knows
out.
it, yeah.
I think she's certainly the Democrat, and I think in that district, a Democrat is more favored. But we'll have to find out. Look, maybe Who knows? Maybe he'll be able to pull something out. He did win against Bar Simeon. He was able to win with our support. So we will have to. With our
He did have the court cases, and he did make it at the end. What happened? He made a deal with George.
But I'll tell you what, though, forget about that, because I'm wanting to say it one more time before we sign off. HeshyTishler.com.
I love you.
HeshyTishler.com.
If you scream, they're going to think I'm crazy.
That's why Infinite Justice Black Beauty, I want all of them here in the chat to get the point. Black Beauty, you know what to do. JDL Brotherhood, I seen your business cards downstairs in the office. Let's get on it. HeshyTishler.com, JustEnoughHeshy at gmail.com.
I need people the last week of election of November 4th. Come in here, get on the phones, hand out flyers.
They can get on these phones after Labor Day.
They can come to the office. We have enough phones here after Labor Day, but not after Labor Day, the last week of the election.
I think that if people want to start getting on the phones, we should start that after Labor Day. Of course.
But I need you to sign up for the last week for sure. I need you to go out to hand out pamphlets and flyers.
That last month, we want to make that push.
Last week is a big push.
But we want to start now.
Well, lots of you want to. JD, I want you to have a team come in. We're working on getting people, but I could use as many as possible.
Absolutely.
Look at what Mandani did.
And this is the district, by the way, is going to...
You know, he has 40,000 volunteers.
I know, I say it all the time, but this is why this is the district. This is going to be the most anti-Mamdani district in the city. You know, George, God bless George. He's been a host on the show. George, a great guy. But this is the district, not even Staten Island, not even Queens. This is the most anti-Mamdani district. So if you want to go out there and make a difference by stopping Mamdani, at the same time, you help Heshy. Because remember, Simcha Felder is running alongside Zorhan Mamdani. Just remember, the Felder Mamdani ticket. It's Felder and Mamdani. Want to make that clear when you go to vote.
Can you believe that?
Felder is running alongside Mamdani. Felder instead took money from a Bronx City Council potential speaker candidate that was quoted recently in the news. That tells you, if you want change, you want to make it happen, this is the opportunity. Stop the Felder Mamdani ticket. The Tischler Express is getting ready to come out of the station. We're over that music.
Well, play that music. I'm going to play that. I'm playing the music.
But thank you, everybody, for tuning in.
I love you. That was a good show.
Great show, everybody. Thank you so much. We'll do it. We'll do it again.
Let's go. You can shut it down.
9 o'clock, it's shining bright. Turn the dial and feel the might. Just enough Heshy take flight. Woo! Laughs and wisdom side by side. Heshy show won't be denied.
Why? Why doesn't he play the music? Why doesn't he play the music?
Rush and feel the pride. It's just enough Heshy. Wanna vote for Heshy. It's just enough Heshy. Join the crowd, it's messy.